Hello friends, welcome to my channel, Strictly Logical. Here in this video, I'll discuss a few ground netiquette rules for online classes that students should be aware of. The internet age is the era we all are living in. This is learning in the new normal. Most people are familiar with the term etiquette and what it carries. From a young age, we are taught to behave properly and have good manners. Now, with many parts of our lives moving online, including even education, a need has arisen for a set of specific online etiquette guidelines that apply to cyber behavior. Online etiquette is based on face-to-face behavior. How you behave in the virtual world reflects how you act in real life. Observing and exercising good online behavior is not only mandatory, it is everyone's responsibility. Netiquette guidelines are a set of rules that dictate what tasteful and respectful online behavior is. The first rule is to set up your study space. Find an area in your house where you can sit comfortably and focus. Make it separate from your relaxation space, ideally away from a TV screen or other distractions. The second rule is being on time. Let's make the most out of our learning sessions. Get to your study space a few minutes before class and make sure your internet connection and computer are working. The third rule is to be prepared for class. Have everything you need within reach. Make sure to prepare the required materials as it will be easier for you to follow along in class. Everyone will be given ample time and reminders to prepare. Prepare your books, homework, notebook, pencils, and anything else you may need so you can easily follow in class. The fourth point is wear appropriate clothes. Make sure you look presentable for class. Dressing up properly for class helps create the mindset essential in learning. Wear comfortable and appropriate clothes. The next very important rule is taking down the notes. Studies on learning have shown that actively engaging with the topic by listening and then summarizing what you hear helps you understand and remember the information later. The next rule is to have lesson distractions. Remember that an online classroom is still a classroom. The first reminder is to harness your imagination and picture that you're at school and not at home. The second is to lock your phone away if you need to. Don't be afraid to ask your parents to intervene. Another way to keep away from distraction is to treat online class time as real class time. Find a quiet space for the class. Turn off the TV or any music in the background. The next rule is, plan your day. If you have one, follow the schedule provided by your school. If you just have a list of things to study, break it down into small tasks and plan to do the hardest ones when you have the most energy. The next rule is, change it up. You probably have a schedule for your lessons, but if things are becoming difficult to focus on, take a 5-minute break and come back to it. Just let your teacher know. Be kind to your mind if you need a break from a consistent schedule. Listen to your favorite music, and that is my personal favorite. The next rule is, speak up and ask for help. When things get tough, don't just push it. Ask your parents, reach out to your teacher, or seek the help of your classmates. Support will always be available as long as we ask for it. Also, write your queries, doubts, down. Use a journal to track your progress or any questions you might want to ask your teacher about the class lessons. The next etiquette rule is to be respectful. Respect your teacher and classmates. Listen attentively to your teacher and follow instructions. Raise your hand when you want to speak and wait to be called before speaking. Listen quietly when someone else is speaking. Talk in your normal voice. If you have problems with the audio, let the teacher know in the chat box. The next rule is to keep your microphone on mute. Reduce background noise and distractions. Microphones can pick up background sounds that may not bother you, but may bother your classmates and teacher. If you want to say something in class, raise your hand and wait for the teacher to acknowledge you before unmuting. The next point to remember is to be responsible in the chat box. Use the chat box for class-related matters only. Avoid spamming or sending unrelated messages. Only the chat feature for things related to your lessons, and as instructed by your teacher. Share only comments that are relevant, or when the teacher specifically asks everyone to use the chat box for an activity. It's not advisable to use it as a tool for chatting with fellow students about irrelevant matters. Next important point is to be fully present. Pay attention and participate actively. Don't play games on your phone, check your social media, or watch videos. Focus on your lessons, take notes and participate in class. Also, avoid constantly moving away from your study area, because that may be distracting to your teacher and classmates. Also, one has to be conscious of class attendance. Come to class as much as you can. If you have health, connectivity, or other problems that stop you from attending classes, let the teacher know immediately. The next rule is to submit assignments on time. Follow guidelines for turning in your assignments. Make sure to follow the deadline, format, and other instructions before you pass your assignments. This way, the teacher can easily find and open your files. The next rule is to practice independent learning. Part of learning is searching for answers on your own. If you have a question, check if you can find the answer online, or in your book, notes, or lesson outline. If you still have trouble, teachers are always there for you. The next rule is to feel free to participate. Don't be afraid to voice out your ideas. When asked, you can express your thoughts and opinions during discussion time. Remember to wait for others to finish speaking first. The next rule is if the teacher has a question, or you have a question that needs clarification, unmute yourself. Raise your hand or wait to be acknowledged before unmuting. Learning from home can be difficult, but it's achievable. Remote learning helps reinforce lifelong skills, such as time and energy management, independence, and creative thinking. Being familiar with the unwritten rules of the internet and guidelines for interacting online can prove helpful with any online communication you have. Do follow these netiquettes, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching this video. If you learned something today, do subscribe to my channel to get the latest updates about many more interesting topics.